still couldn't read. And
wait a minute. When was that? She couldn't read, but
she couldn't read. First grade, second grade, third grade.
Third grade, she still couldn't read.
Could not read.
But she's so smart.
Very smart.
I mean, she's a sharp cookie.
She really is smart, but she didn't think so. She thought she was dumb.
That's right.
No. And that's the other issue.
It's a heartbreaker,
so
isn't it?
you see this kid work so hard, and her self-esteem just plummets. And as a parent, you're thinking, oh my goodness, but you are so smart, and you're so beautiful, and God made you this way. And yet her self-esteem just kept plummeting and plummeting, and she would compare herself.
It's a heartbreak. We see it all the time. In fact, let me just interject and you tell me if this is what you see. One of the first things we almost always hear parents say after coming here, usually not too long, they're always surprised. They go, their personal confidence has already started to skyrocket.
Absolutely.
Have you seen that?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
She is
Isn't that cool?
smiling. She's walking taller.
Yeah,
She's almost skipping in her walk. She carries a book around. Jay, didn't even. Books were her enemy. Oh, she was terrified of books. She loves it. She's reading out of a book. She's reading The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, which is not an eady book to read, especially for. And she wasn't even reading before she came to you. So really, she didn't start reading until I would say December of this year, maybe January, in her 5th grade year. And yet we've spent thousands and thousands of dollars trying to get her help. Anything we could do. Switching schools. We switched schools just to help her out. So we've gone down every avenue, and to be honest, when we walked in this door, I was just hopeful. You know, the door of hope. I was hopeful that this would be an answer, and people had told me, try them, trust me, try them. And as soon as Karen did that first test and I sat down with Karen, I realized this was different. Yeah. And I realized right from the beginning, when Karen knew exactly what Annalina's issues were and where to start that program and what Annalina needed, not a generic program, what Annalina needed. And when she sat down and talked with me, I knew instantly, because Jay, I've gone through 6 tutors. I've gone through the gamut. I've had her in everything under the sun, trying to get her to that next level. And
most of them are probably more expensive than we are, huh?
Yes. She's done the Orton-Gillingham method, specifically the Barton curriculum, which is a whole system. You buy that, you pay for the tutor. Very pricey. I've had her tested. She's on the severe to moderate of dyslexia. So I know what her issues are. I've gone that route, and it's just such a relief and a blessing to now be here. Oh, eye therapy. She's been in eye therapy. She's had the whole gamut. I bought her these.
Sometimes that's helpful. One of the things that we do, we have a connection with the premier eye therapy doctor.
Right, Dr. Suter, and she is excellent. Suter. I don't diss on the eye therapy. The eye therapy is excellent, but I needed more. You can't just do that.
She refers to us, and we refer to her, because there are times when the issue really is. And I don't think either one of us are like so egocentric that we're going, well, no, I'm not going to share you with Dr. Suter because we're going to take care of you. If there's a need, we know we have the contacts. Been around doing this in this community for a long time, and we can help you out if there is another need. Sometimes we get kids come in here who we just right off the bat after we test them go, what we do isn't the right thing. So the first thing that you did is like what everybody else did. We have you come in and we put your child through a battery of tests. Karen analyzes those things, and that's the conversation you had when she came back out and talked to you about the results, and you're just going, you're doing the same thing every other parent did. Well, you hit that nail on the head. Oh, do you hit that nail on the head? It's just she knows.
It was very special to hear from Karen specifically what Annalina needed, and to hear Karen say, I can help her. I can help her. And I just knew in my heart, I knew this wasn't going to be that Band-Aid. you know?
It was going to be a fix.
I knew it was going to be a fix. And that's what you need, and that's what you want. And
absolutely. Because
it has been.
The reality is that your child, if they don't know how to read, they don't know how to decipher the code that we call reading language, they're going to reach a point where life is going to become so hard doing that they're going to just absolutely
you can't
blow
go
to pieces.
You can't go through life and not be able to read.
Yeah. You can, but it is very difficult, and the ones that do have to learn such extreme avoidance behaviors.
Yes.
Where they learn how to get out of that. Did you ever see any particular avoidance behaviors in Annalina's?
Oh, for sure.
What kind of things did she do?
Well, first of all, she wouldn't do her work unless we would read it to her. You know, she couldn't do any of that.
Because she can't. Yeah.
I had one teacher said to me how they were working on an assignment and Annalina was looking at her neighbor's paper and she felt like she was cheating. And I said, well, what would you do when you don't understand it and you can't read? You know, at the new school, they looked at me when I questioned them on that, and they were like, oh, if she needs help from her neighbor, she is more than welcome to ask for help for her neighbor, because we get that she doesn't understand it, but she's a smart girl. As soon as it's explained to her, she gets it.
And that's the one thing that we have such joy in. We help these kids because 9 times out of 10, maybe higher, the kids that come in here are really smart. Like we got started because of our youngest son. Severely dyslexic. Now, not all the kids that come through here are dyslexic, but he was. That's how we got our beginning 30 years ago. And he was brilliant anywhere but school. In the schoolroom setting, it was devastating. They did the pull-out programs. I got to tell you guys, we've heard the pull-out program going on now for all these years. Never once. It just doesn't work for kids that have this kind of problem.
It's a Band-Aid. It's a Band-Aid.
It can't help them.
Yeah.
So we've learned through the Linda Mood Bell program, which has been around in San Luis Obispo. They have a huge office over there. They are very successful at helping kids learn to get the tools they need to be able to interpret this thing we call language, written language. And that makes it to where the kid can then go, wow, I'm not a dummy. Wouldn't you? Through the whole journey, haven't you just wished somebody would make it to where this precious, brilliant daughter of yours would know that she was
valued,
and valued and brilliant?
Yes. Because Jay, that was probably the biggest heartbreak.
Yeah.
Was to see her self-esteem plummet and to see that she would compare herself.
And it kills a parent's heart, doesn't it?
It really, truly does. And she would say to me, I'm just not smart. I don't know what to do. And, honey, you're smart in a different way. You know, that's what I'd say to her. I'd say, you're smart in a different way, but we're gonna get you help, because the way they set up the school systems and the way that they teach you to read, it's just your mind doesn't work that way.
That's right.
And we're gonna get you that help. And so I'm so grateful that we found you and Karen and the Door of Hope. And Annalina she enjoys reading. Like, I thought I would never say that in my entire life.
Yeah. We hear those stories all the time. Right now, all of our students here, I think every single one of them that we've got coming right now. And by the way, we're doing this just in advance of the summer program for 2018. Next year, your child will be going into a grade where it's going to be a major jump. If they stay the same or fall further behind, like most kids do over the summer, they're going to be even less prepared than they are right now. So we can get them. We can get your child up to that grade that they're going into, reading level, over the course of the summer. We got a special program going on. It's filling up fast. We don't have a lot of room left, and so if you want to do this, you give us a call. We may have to put you on a waiting list, but here's the thing. It's better to go on a waiting list with something that has proven reliable and successful over and over and over for 30 years than to go ahead and throw away even more money at some place that's just going to try and put on a Band-Aid. So we get to the bottom of things. We help them receive the tools they need to work this out for a lifetime. If you're going to just say one last thing to anybody listening, what would you say?
I would say definitely come to the door of hope, because this is where you'll find some joy. You will get the hope that you are looking for. Your child that has a learning issue will have the help. And like Jay was saying, time, that your child's going into that next grade, time I found to be my enemy with Annalena, because from first, second, third, fourth, we weren't reading. And every year the curriculum got harder. And I spent so much time and energy and money in other tutoring systems that were just Band-Aids. So don't bandage the problem, fix it. Treat the wound and come here. It truly, it's a blessing that we found this, and I just am very happy that Annalena now is a reader. And she's going to sell. She's going to soar.
Awesome.